Welcome back to ABCGH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the intriguing dynamics unfolding between several key characters in Port Charles, particularly focusing on the potential revelation that could change everything for one couple. The potential downfall of a relationship. Will Willow Corinthos and Drew Kane's budding romance survive the storm brewing on the horizon? Recent developments suggest their relationship may be standing on shakier ground than either realizes. Willow has been envisioning a future filled with promise alongside Drew, complete with plans to move in together and embark on a fresh chapter in their lives. However, these dreams might soon come crashing down as hidden truths threaten to surface. The romantic aspirations Willow harbors could be dramatically derailed when certain recordings come to light. These recordings, potentially capturing Drew in moments of unfiltered aggression, stand in stark contrast to the persona he carefully maintains in Willow's presence. Such revelations would undoubtedly force Willow to re-evaluate not only her feelings for Drew but also the warnings others have attempted to share with her about his true character. Behind the mask, Drew's dual persona. The complexity of Drew Kane's character has become increasingly apparent to viewers. While he presents himself as the quintessential hero figure when in Willow's company, a dramatically different side emerges when he confronts those he perceives as enemies or obstacles. This Jekyll and Hyde dynamic has been particularly evident in his interactions with Dr. Portia Robinson. When away from Willow's watchful eye, Drew transforms from charming suitor to intimidating adversary. His confrontations with Portia have revealed a man willing to resort to threats and intimidation tactics to achieve his goals. The stark contrast between these two versions of Drew raises significant questions about which represents his authentic self. Perhaps at one point in his journey, Drew genuinely embodied the heroic qualities he now merely performs, but something fundamental has clearly shifted within him. Nina and Portia, an unlikely alliance. In an unexpected turn of events, Nina Reeves and Portia Robinson have formed a strategic partnership aimed at exposing Drew's manipulative behavior. Both women, though motivated by different circumstances, share a common goal: revealing Drew's true nature before he can cause further harm. This alliance could prove particularly powerful as both women possess unique insights into Drew's character flaws. Nina's determination to protect Willow, coupled with Portia's first-hand experience of Drew's threatening behavior, creates a formidable force against him. Their collaborative efforts might include gathering evidence, sharing information, and ultimately orchestrating a moment of revelation that could change everything. The power of evidence. The potential recordings of Drew's blackmail attempts represent a powerful weapon in this unfolding drama. If Nina successfully captures Drew's threatening behavior toward Portia, this evidence could serve multiple purposes. Beyond revealing Drew's true nature to Willow, such recordings could provide Portia with crucial leverage against any future attempts at intimidation. Should Drew attempt to follow through on his threats against Portia, the existence of these recordings could completely upend his carefully constructed public image. The consequences could extend far beyond his personal relationships, potentially impacting his professional standing as a congressman and even resulting in legal repercussions. The specter of public disgrace and possible imprisonment might be enough to force Drew to reconsider his approach. A moment of truth for Willow. For Willow, the potential revelation of these recordings represents a pivotal moment of truth. Having invested emotionally in her relationship with Drew and envisioned a future together, confronting evidence of his duplicity would undoubtedly be devastating. The carefully constructed illusion others have tried to warn her about would finally shatter, forcing her to reconcile the man she thought she knew with the reality of who he truly is. This moment of clarity could trigger a profound transformation in Willow's perspective, potentially leading her to re-evaluate not only her relationship with Drew but also her judgment of those who attempted to warn her about him. The emotional aftermath of such a revelation would likely be significant, as Willow processes feelings of betrayal and disillusionment. Looking ahead, relationship turbulence. The coming weeks promise significant developments in this unfolding drama. Spoilers suggest that Drew and Willow's relationship will face substantial challenges, potentially culminating in a painful separation. The ripple effects of such a breakup would extend throughout Port Charles, affecting not only the individuals directly involved but also their wider circle of friends and family. As viewers, we're left wondering, will Willow ultimately turn against Drew once his true nature is revealed? How will Drew respond if his carefully maintained facade crumbles? And what consequences might follow for all parties involved in this complex web of deception and revelation? The stage is set for dramatic confrontations and emotional revelations that could permanently alter the trajectory of these characters' lives. As always in Port Charles, the path to truth is rarely straightforward, and the cost of honesty often comes with unexpected consequences. Next, we will learn about the intriguing love triangle developing in Port Charles involving Lucas Jones, Marco Rios, and the ever-scheming Brad Cooper. This complex relationship dynamic promises to deliver some of the most compelling drama we've seen on General Hospital in recent months. Will Brad's desperate measures succeed? The question on everyone's mind is whether Brad Cooper will successfully sabotage the budding romance between his ex-husband Lucas Jones and newcomer Marco Rios. Brad's desperation to reclaim Lucas's heart might drive him to extreme measures that could have far-reaching consequences for all involved parties. His determination to win back Lucas appears boundless, regardless of the ethical lines he might cross in the process. If Brad does enlist private investigator Elaine Stevens and her canine companion Mavis, the results could be devastating for Marco. Elaine's reputation for thoroughness in her investigations is well established in Port Charles. Her ability to uncover even the most carefully hidden secrets makes her a formidable ally for Brad in his quest to eliminate his romantic competition. Marco's mysterious past and potential vulnerabilities. Marco Rios presents himself as a polished legal professional who recently interviewed with the esteemed attorney Diane Miller for a position at her and Alexis Davis's prestigious law firm. However, beneath this impressive exterior may lurk secrets that could threaten both his professional standing and his personal happiness. The possibility that Marco has a professional scandal in his background creates a tantalizing storyline potential. Perhaps he was involved in some ethical breach at his previous firm that nearly cost him his license to practice law. Or maybe he represented a client whose case crossed moral boundaries, forcing Marco to make difficult choices that now haunt him. These hypothetical skeletons in Marco's closet would provide Brad with powerful leverage. Marco's apparent prioritization of his career makes him particularly vulnerable to blackmail. If Brad uncovers compromising information, Marco might face an impossible choice between pursuing his feelings for Lucas and protecting his professional reputation. This internal conflict would add significant emotional depth to Marco's character while creating dramatic tension in the storyline. Lucas Jones at the center of the storm. Dr. Lucas Jones finds himself unwittingly at the center of this emotional maelstrom. Having already suffered through Brad's previous betrayals, Lucas appears ready to move forward with his life and open his heart to new possibilities with Marco. The chemistry between Lucas and Marco has been palpable in their interactions, suggesting a promising future for the pair if external forces don't intervene. Lucas's journey toward emotional healing after his tumultuous marriage to Brad represents an important character development arc. His attraction to Marco symbolizes his readiness to trust again despite past heartbreak. This evolution makes Brad's potential interference all the more tragic, as it threatens to derail Lucas's hard-won emotional progress. The medical community at General Hospital has noticed the positive change in Lucas's demeanor since meeting Marco. His colleagues have commented on his renewed focus and improved spirits, further emphasizing the positive influence Marco has had on Lucas's life in a relatively short time. This professional renaissance parallels his personal awakening, creating a multidimensional character development that viewers find compelling. Selena Wu's surprising stance. An interesting wrinkle in this unfolding drama is Selena Wu's refusal to assist her nephew Brad in his schemes against Marco. Her declaration that Lucas isn't good enough for Brad introduces a fascinating family dynamic that adds complexity to Brad's character and motivations. This rejection from his powerful aunt forces Brad to pursue alternative methods to achieve his goals, potentially pushing him toward increasingly desperate and dangerous choices. Selena's assessment of Lucas raises questions about her own criteria for a suitable partner for her nephew. Her disapproval might stem from Lucas's profession, family connections, or perhaps some past interaction that viewers haven't yet been privy to. This mysterious backstory offers rich territory for future storyline development and character exploration. The tension between Brad and Selena could escalate if Brad's schemes against Marco become increasingly reckless. Selena might feel compelled to intervene, not to help Brad win Lucas back, but to prevent her nephew from causing irreparable damage to his own reputation in future. This potential family conflict adds another layer of complexity to an already intricate narrative. Elaine Stevens, the wild card. Private investigator Elaine Stevens, with her faithful dog Mavis, represents an unpredictable element in this emotional equation. While Brad may hire her with specific expectations, Elaine's professional integrity might lead her in unexpected directions. There's always the possibility that she could discover information that changes the entire dynamic of the situation. Elaine's investigative methods, which include using Mavis as an icebreaker to gain people's trust, demonstrate her psychological astuteness and strategic thinking. These qualities make her a formidable player in Port Charles's complex social landscape. Her involvement in the Lucas-Marco-Brad triangle introduces an element of unpredictability that keeps viewers engaged and guessing about potential outcomes. The relationship between Elaine and Mavis offers moments of lightness in an otherwise tension-filled storyline. Their partnership has become a fan favorite, providing necessary comic relief while still advancing the plot in meaningful ways. This balance of drama and humor is essential to maintaining viewer engagement over the long term. As this captivating storyline continues to unfold, General Hospital fans will undoubtedly be watching closely to see whether love or manipulation ultimately prevails in Port Charles. The complex interplay of professional ambition, romantic longing, and vengeful scheming creates a narrative tapestry that exemplifies the best traditions of daytime drama while offering fresh and surprising developments for longtime viewers. What are your thoughts on this unfolding drama? Do you believe Brad will succeed in separating Lucas and Marco? Is there more to Marco's past than meets the eye? Next, we will learn about the exciting developments coming to Port Charles in the week ahead. The drama is heating up with surprising character returns and potential romance brewing in the most unexpected places. The WSB saga intensifies, Josslyn's dangerous new path. The clandestine world of international espionage continues to weave its way through Port Charles as the World Security Bureau storyline gains momentum in the upcoming episodes. Viewers can anticipate seeing more of the enigmatic Agent Vaughn, portrayed by the charismatic Bryce Durfee, who will make a significant appearance during the Thursday, April 10th broadcast. This mysterious operative scenes with Josslyn Jack's promise to deliver both tension and intrigue as the young Port Charles resident takes her first tentative steps into the shadowy realm of international intelligence. Josslyn's decision to align herself with the WSB represents a dramatic departure from her previous trajectory, raising questions about her motivations and the potential consequences of her choices. Has her desire for adventure and purpose driven her toward this dangerous career path? Or perhaps she's seeking to escape the emotional entanglements that have complicated her life in Port Charles? Whatever her reasons, this bold move signals a significant evolution in her character arc. The chemistry between Josslyn and Vaughn has been subtly building over their limited interactions, with meaningful glances and charged conversations hinting at a potential romantic connection. Their professional partnership could easily blossom into something more intimate as they navigate the high-stakes world of espionage together. The shared adrenaline of dangerous missions often creates an accelerated emotional bond, and these two characters seem primed for such a development. However, this budding relationship faces numerous obstacles. Vaughn's dedication to his work and the secretive nature of his profession could create barriers to genuine intimacy. Additionally, Josslyn's family and friends remain completely unaware of her covert activities, creating a double life that will inevitably become increasingly difficult to maintain. The stress of compartmentalizing these aspects of her existence could take a significant emotional toll. The question of whether anyone in Josslyn's inner circle will uncover her clandestine activities looms large over this storyline. Her mother Carly has demonstrated an almost preternatural ability to sense when her children are hiding something, while her ex-boyfriend Cameron has always been attuned to subtle changes in her behavior. If either of these individuals begins to suspect something amiss, Josslyn may find herself forced to choose between her new career path and the relationships that have defined her life thus far. Most concerning is the very real danger that accompanies WSB operations. Unlike the relatively contained dramas of Port Charles, international espionage carries life-threatening risks that Josslyn may not be fully prepared to confront. Will Vaughn prove to be a protective mentor, or might his own agenda place Josslyn in jeopardy? The ambiguity surrounding his character creates a delicious tension that viewers will be eager to see resolved. Danny Morgan's return, a young man with secrets. In a development that promises to add complexity to multiple ongoing storylines, Danny Morgan will make his return to the canvas during the Friday, April 11th episode, with Asher Antonazin continuing in this pivotal role. As the son of Jason Morgan and the late Sam McCall, Danny carries the legacy of two of Port Charles's most beloved characters, making his appearances particularly meaningful for longtime viewers. What makes Danny's return especially intriguing is his knowledge of a bombshell secret, the true paternity of Sasha Corbin's unborn child. The revelation that Jason is not actually the father of this baby creates a precarious situation for young Danny, who now carries information that could dramatically alter multiple lives in Port Charles. The burden of such knowledge would be substantial for anyone, let alone a young person still navigating the complexities of adolescence and family loyalty. The scheduled interaction between Danny and Sasha promises to be fraught with subtext and unspoken tensions. Their established rapport, Danny considers Sasha cool while she holds him in high regard, creates a foundation of mutual respect that makes their shared secret all the more complicated. Will Danny feel conflicted about maintaining this deception? Might he inadvertently drop hints that could lead Sasha to question his comfort with the situation? The location of their meeting could prove critically important. If their conversation takes place in a public setting like Kelly's Diner or the Metro Court, the risk of being overheard increases exponentially. Port Charles has a long history of private conversations being accidentally intercepted by exactly the wrong people at precisely the wrong moment. Could someone with close ties to Jason, perhaps Carly Corinthos or Sonny Corinthos, happen upon this conversation and catch a damning fragment that sets them on the path to uncovering the truth? Danny's position in this scenario is particularly poignant given his relationship with his father. Jason Morgan has always emphasized honesty and loyalty in his interactions with his son, values that stand in stark contrast to the deception Danny now participates in. This moral conflict could create significant character development opportunities for Danny, forcing him to grapple with adult ethical dilemmas while still in his formative years. The question of the baby's actual paternity remains one of Port Charles's most closely guarded secrets. Speculation has run rampant among viewers, with theories pointing to everyone from Sonny Corinthos to newcomer John Jagger Cates. The truth, when finally revealed, will undoubtedly send shockwaves through the community and potentially realign alliances and relationships that have seemed stable for years. Port Charles, a community in constant flux. The upcoming week of April 7th to 11th exemplifies the dynamic nature of Port Charles, a community characterized by its ever-evolving cast of characters. As longtime viewers have observed, this fictional town operates as something of a revolving door, welcoming new faces while occasionally reintroducing familiar ones who have been absent from the canvas. This pattern of character movement keeps the narrative landscape fresh and unpredictable, allowing for new storyline possibilities while honoring the rich history of the show. The constant flow of characters in and out of Port Charles mirrors the reality of actual small communities, where population changes reflect the natural progression of life. Young adults leave to pursue opportunities elsewhere, while others are drawn to the town for its unique characteristics or family connections. This realistic approach to community dynamics helps ground the sometimes fantastical elements of the show's plots in a recognizable social context. For the week ahead, viewers should prepare themselves for significant character movements that will potentially alter the trajectory of multiple storylines. The reappearance of Danny Morgan represents this phenomenon perfectly, a character with deep connections to Port Charles history returning at a moment when his presence can catalyze new narrative developments. Similarly, the increasing prominence of Vaughn in the WSB storyline introduces fresh energy and possibilities to the show's established framework.